like and subscribe. So today I'm going to talk about how you can make massive amount of money in meme coins, right? As you know, right, like every bull run, like if you look at the Bitcoin history, every bull run there's some things where you can make massive amount. For example, like 2017, you could just make a lot of money with kind of mostly like high ROI coins, right? Like there's a lot of junk coins, high ROI coins, and that kind of faded away, right? And Memecoin is there from the we have Doge and Ship, but right now we did not have like this kind of where they are launching like pretty much every day lot of Memecoin in Solana, a lot of Memecoin in Base, and there's few in Ethereum too. Like it depends on what chain, but basically you'll see like hundreds of coin are launched, right? So how you can take advantage of that and make money. So same thing, if you look at the 2021, we have the NFTs. Like you would see just put $100 in NFT and it's like $10,000. It's exactly same things happening right now in the meme coin. So how do you do that? First thing first, you need to basically, one thing, you need to be very fast. So one thing is just sniping, right? Like as soon as they launch, you'll buy. But I see there's some problem with that, in the sense is like it's really hard to tell, since there's million coins. Like if even if you put $1, you're just wasting $1 million, right? So even if it's 100x, 200x, 500x, like it's really hard. So you're not gonna win that game. So I think like best way, what I have seen is, at least like there's few strategy. One thing is you're looking at the coin which is like a month or 2 months, and kind of based on the chart you are getting in. The other thing is you're looking at 6 hours or 25 hours, right? And see, does it have a potentials. And really the game is here, you're not putting thousands, you're not putting your life savings. What you are putting is basically like, let's say you have 100,000 a portfolio, you have like couple thousands, like 200,000 to play with the mem. So in one play you'll just putting 200 $300, right? So think about it, if you put 200, and mem coin they 10x all the time. So if it 10x, that's 3,000, right? If you put 1,000, 10x 10,000, that's a good sum of money. If that happens, you put back that 5,000, and that you have 5,000 to play around with other meme, right? That's how you basically, you always need to make sure you are kind of you are kind of doing safety, right? Safety first. So yeah, let's look. So this is basically dex screener, where you can basically see all the meme coins in like basically different chart. As you see, there's a lot of Solana which are in Radium, but you will see some kind of base chain too, right? Mostly in Solana, but you'll see, just of course because of the fee, but you will see some in Ethereum. Of course, Ethereum is large amount of people, so Ethereum, but you'll see in pretty much all chain, but mostly it's Solana and Base. I think they are the one really kind of hitting it. So of course, like what I would do is, like if you are looking for one thing, you got to look at what you got to like. Prices of course doesn't matter, right? It could be $1, maybe a smaller supply. One thing I would look at the transactions. Like if you're looking for some 6 hour lunch or 24-hour lunch, for example, this was 6 hour lunch, right? So let's look at the 24 hours. So I would stay away with 5 minutes. It's really hard to tell, but usually I'll look at like maybe 6 hours or 24 hours. But let's look at 6 hours right here. 6 hour itself. Okay, great. So now what you're looking is, one thing is price doesn't really matter, like could be anything, but basically what you look at transaction, are there good transaction happening, right? So here 13,000, great. 59.25, there are people, it could be bought, we don't know it, but there are people, right? So 29, these all looks good, right? You don't want to do where you have like 100 200. You want to make it at least like a couple thousand, 4 or 5 thousand. That's a good number. Now next things, you want to look at the volume. If it doesn't have a volume, for example like here, 31K is still good, but you just want to look at the volume. If there's a volume, there's an interest, and there's some things, right? Landwolf is really doing great, and actually I wanted to talk about Wolf. We'll look at the chart, but that's the other things. Yeah, Maker, you want to look at this number, higher the better, but you just want to make sure it's at least 1,000, right? You don't want to do like a couple hundred or something. Sometimes you may get a gem, but this is just the price for your information, whether it's kind of going up, down, or whatever in the 5 minutes, 1 hour, 6 hour. This is red going down, 6 hours up, and 24 hours 10. So just launched 24, this is 24, right? And liquidity, that's very important. You want to look at the liquidity, and there's more things. Doesn't look at liquidity and just put it. I got like scammed one time. Like I look at liquid, I didn't do my due diligence, and basically they pulled the liquidity out, right? So a lot of people, what they do is like kind of honeypot. what they're gonna do is like put 2 million or $3 million of their own money, but they are controlling the supply, right? So they'll remove the liquidity. So you want to make sure that's locked. Market cap, again, it really doesn't matter, but if you really want to make it like good money, I would think it's a good project. Like you want to do like couple millions, like 2 to 5 millions or under, that would be really good, right? Here you can see with it's 100 and 175. Again, it can almost like you can double it, already double, right? It was almost $4, so it can double or triple. But look at that, it's 1.75 already, so there's not much upside, right? Even if it 10x. But if you look at something like, like a 3 million, it can literally, like, if you look at the what happened to Brett, right? Like if you look at the 3 million, it can go to 30 million, that's a 10x, and 300 million, that's 100x. You literally put 1,000 and that's 100,000. And there's, if you do your own tool, you can find one too. So yeah, it's all there. It's all chain and whatnot. But yeah, those were the few things I wanted to talk. Again, similarly, Dex Screener, there's another website like Dex Tools IO. It's exactly same. It's gonna basically show more daily gainers, daily losers. There's a lot of tokens, a lot of chains. And actually you can just look and see they have Dex scores. You can kind of read more about it, reliability and all, and if it's been audited and did they find anything. So you can basically cross check between the both sides. There's other bunch of sites too, but I'm not gonna, maybe if you are interested, comment below and I can make in a site. But let's say once you look and looks good, then what's next, right? So let's say you want to look into, I don't know, like Wolf, right? So Wolf is doing really good. uh, yeah, Wolf is doing really good. Yeah, so if you look at here, so there's few things. I think I grab the wrong Wolf. Or I usually want to do, so they could have a lot of chains. So I just want to make sure it is the one with the highest liquidity, because there's, you'll see a Wolf, but liquidity is 80k only, right? So price is 1.6 a little bit, but is it, oh, is this the different Wolf? Wolf is FAF. Yeah, it's the same Wolf actually, because the contract address is same. So you got to make sure a contract address. But basically they created this one before and they created this one later, that would is fine. But here if you see, most of the transaction is happening here, so we're going to look into here, right? So it really doesn't matter, but yeah. So now a few things, right? So what we're going to use, price, again, it's just the price, so it doesn't matter. Price in Sol, yeah, I mean it matters, but just really doesn't matter. Here we are just trading. One thing you want to make sure, liquidity is locked, right? If it's not locked, what happens is, even if you show 1 million or 2 million, there's good liquidity, they can remove at any time. So you are basically locked with, I have one coin, like it shows it's like 50,000 or $60,000, but there's zero liquidity, so I cannot cash it, right? So it's just like just the paper, right? But if you look at the price, it's like 4 cents or something, and I have millions of it, right? Millions or billions, I don't even know, but it's just zero. Like it's kind of fake, right? So yeah. And yeah, fully diluted value is basically what's the kind of market cap, if everything is circulating, and it's a market cap, as you know, right? And this is 5 minutes. So these are the one thing, liquidity, you want to make sure it is locked. If it's not locked, probably you don't want to trade, right? You can put maybe $50 or something, but I won't put like much more than that if it's not locked, right? So now transaction, you want to see, look at the transaction. There's a lot of transaction happening in 24 hours, which is good. You can look at that, 30,000 buys and 25,000 sells. So basically more buyers than the seller, right? Then, but look at the buy volume, it's 17.37. Still buyers are gaining, right? So that's why the price is up 12%. Same thing, there's more buyers, more seller, but really doesn't matter. It could be well selling it and small buyers, right? So yeah, and you can see right here. So other things you want to see is, you can see right here who is buying, who is selling. You sell, if you see, and it has like really cool functionality. For example, here you can see like, hey, I want to look at the buyers or sellers more than 10,000. See, 4 minutes 37. So basically 10,000 buy, 11,000, 10 sells, and you can actually see like what's happening, like if there's a uh, buyers winning or sellers winning. But you can even follow this address. This guy has bought for 37,000, sold for 27,000, right now 12,000, but it's still he has like 1.9 million, right? He hasn't sold all. So he is sitting at unrealized profit of 33 million. You can actually look and follow that wallet, right? So that's the other things, other good things about it. Now you can look at the top trader, right? So you can look at that. This guy bought for 847k and sold for 1.2 million, made 394,000. Good trade, right? Almost 400,000. This guy already made this. There's unrealized because he hasn't sold all, and you can see that, right? And if you want to follow, you can follow this wallet too, which is pretty cool too, right? So yeah, that's really awesome. You can see that these guys are profitable. Most of the guys here, probably some losers too. Yeah, we can look at the holder. Sorry, holders, right? So other things you want to look at is holder. So holder is 28,000. That's great, right? So amount. So address. Okay, percent supply. You want to make sure nobody holds like huge percentage. This is actually awesome. This is 1%. I know this guy holds like 1.7 million, but you saw like a lot of people are selling millions of dollars. So this is really good. Like in the sense, it's like a million 1%. So nobody's holding like 5-10%. Everybody's holding like couple percent and whatnot, right? So others is 77% is like less than, but basically these guys are holding like almost a million. Pretty significant amount, right? Like out of 99 billion, 7.7 billion is among if you have something, but pretty cool, pretty good. And you can actually look more, and you can look at the liquidity provider, right? Liquidity provider, yeah, these are the liquidity address for liquidity provider. There's this is burned 97.90, so almost 1.2 million worth is actually burned, means they're not gonna take it out, right? People can trade there, which is basically kind of assuring like nobody gonna honeypot or whatnot, right? People can still sell, but there's like a million, so it looks good in terms of the fundamental, like nobody, no honeypot. Still people could have like, owners could have made like, I don't know, like 50 addresses and have a million 1% each, right? That could happen, but at least like from here, it looks like a pretty good, right? Now, once we have that, now we're gonna look at the chart, right? So 4 hours, like yeah, see, look at this is exactly what you want to look at. Like look at this. They launched it. They launched it at 0.00302, right? So it almost hit like 0.2, so it's like 100x already, right? Within like what, they launched on 13, it's what, 4, oh, today is 22, so great, like 13. But look at that. I usually really like when basically they go up, then basically consolidation, consolidation, consolidations, and once they consolidate, then boom, right? It really started kind of flying on 18. So if you got in here at 2, you could have still like make it 10x right here, right? So this is a really good chart pattern. So you want to look at, right? So no crazy bounces or anything here. Yeah, so here if you look at this, kind of like that acted as a good support, right? It acted as a good support, and it never, so if you even trade it, like you get in here, and basically if it's like you get in at like 0.001, and if it goes like half of that price, basically sell out, you could have basically one, right? So risking half, but there's a lot more, like you are like 2x or 3x, right? The huge potentials, and this played out really well, right? So these are the few things that's for the wolf. Same thing, we can actually look at some great name too, like Brett. I mean, bread did really well. Like I'm a bread holder, but yeah, definitely do your own do DD. But right now it's kind of down. But this is bread. Hmm. 1.6 mil. Okay, this has 5 million, and this has 14 million. Oh wow. So I'm gonna just choose 3 months, 25 days is the when they created, but that liquidity pool, of course, not the coin. So here, so if you go to daily, Bread had the same things, and I created chart. See, Bread really non-stop. Like first, I think like first few days it really like did nothing, but once it started flying, it just flew, and I think I got in somewhere around like I got it about cents, yeah, somewhere around. So I was pretty early, I think. I got around that price, but we really had great price, then basically reversal as well. Then we never came back, right? Never came back. And this was basically, you can always like look into, I don't know if this has it, but you can always look into like here, I forgot to mention this, but you can look at the website, for example, like how's the website, does it look good, does it look professional, how's the tokenomics, so you can get like this one, like looks, seems like a lot of exchanges already have it. Futures trading, you can do a lot of futures trading as well. So I mean, these are doing really extremely well, right? So bread is doing extremely well. Now you can look at the Twitters, you can look at the Telegram, check it out and see, make sure, right? If if those all checks out, right, you're basically kind of making sure uh, they are not what we call they're not scam. Same thing, you can look at like I think this is KZ. Yeah, yeah, KZ. So we had this JK Sync, right? JK Sync, and this had this KZ created 4 days ago. Seems like it is down, but seems like it was the first meme coin in there, right? That's a first party mover. So if you got in, I mean, kind of down right now, but if you look at the somebody got in really early, I mean, let's do 4 hours. Like if they got in really early, like in the first 4 hours or even next, they're still profitable, right? And one thing is still holding it. So a lot of times what happens is people are okay. They are kind of looking into it, and it can fly, right? Like people's, it's a new protocol. JK Sync, it's coming, so people want to try. So that's a kind of first party mover. So if it's kind of hold, and let's say it's kind of breakout, that could be a good entry point, right? If you believe in. But now also, like if it goes like below this one, you can actually buy it and basically have stop loss right there, maybe a half. If you put 500, if 250 are out. But yeah, you want to make sure liquidity, it doesn't say if it's locked, so that's kind of red flag. So don't want to put a lot of money, but you want to make sure like those are all checked out, right? So other things I think did really well, which I got into, was Trog. Again, one thing is a lot of people kind of forget, right? Like um, you're not gonna win everyone. I mean, everybody will lose, and people lose all the time. So basically, the name of the game is you gotta make sure, right? I mean, your winners are really big, so your loser doesn't matter. Actually, Troc could be a good buy here. I'm kind of thinking, because if you look at like it's kind of holding like really, so pretty much everybody is in loss right now almost, right? So they're like, what's the point in selling, not gonna sell. And I mean, if they start at 0.07 0.05, yeah, unless you get really early, like on the first day, first hours, then it's pretty much right there. So I feel like it's kind of bottomed out. So still have 345k liquidity, 2.5 market cap. Only thing is, it seems like it is in Ethereum, so your swap fee gonna be kind of high. But this could be a Trump frog, right? Like just like a Pepe. I mean, kind of it's a main point, but kind of Trump election going on. Other things you need to know the theme, right? Trump. I mean, uh, Trump is coming in, so a lot of the Trump going out, right? So it's like election year. One time there's like Biden and something, and kind of Solana was kind of filled up. So if you find that trend, G, I don't know if you like Trump coin, right? This one now it's like really, somebody said like Trump really launched it, but seems like liquidity is not there yet here. 132k. So since it has a liquidity over here, what is it? Two different coins? PHR. I think these are like volume. Yeah, let's look at this. 4 days. I don't know like which one is fake and which one is so a lot of time they will just have, you gotta make sure, like you gotta make sure wherever you get, for example, look at this contract and this contract are same, but this contract is different, right? So this could be literally a fake coin, right? But look at this, 24-hour volume is 16 point, but liquidity seems very less, right? And it's down. So I mean, I have my doubt, but with this here, it's, I think it's like 11 cents, there 13 cents. I mean, you could probably just do some arbitrage if it's true. Just buy it here, sell it here. Maybe I'll do it. But yeah, you gotta make sure that's correct. But anyway, well, I think this is the lizard one. But if you go to the lizard one, and you'll see it pumped up really high, then basically went down. But yeah, I think this is the one. Yeah, so almost bottom 008 to it went to 04 or so. Yeah, it really, and it was probably lower, a lot lower before that too. So it's just the initial hype, like they had some Trump launched, then it was revealed that somebody launched it, so it kind of went down. But you get the idea, right? So you need to basically get in the trend, and seems like the liquidity is not locked, and I'm not gonna basically trust this. They're probably gonna look into it, but you get the idea. So yeah, if you have any question or comment, let me know, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. That's all for today. Bye.